Dominique DePrima at 6 a.m. Tavis Smiley at 9 a.m. Truth Time with Dr. Cornell West and Nina Turner at 12 noon. Here they come, y'all. Here they come. Here they come, y'all. Here they come.
Get out the way. Get out the way. Get out the way.
The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show at 1 p.m. The D.L. Hughley Afternoon Show at 2 p.m. A More Perfect Union with Dr. Nee Quarterly Quartet at 4 p.m. Here they come, y'all. Here they come. Here they come, y'all. Here they come.
Get out the way. Get out the way. Get out the way.
Tune in weekdays from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. for the Talk of the Town. Only on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about. Here they come, y'all. Here they come.
Tell me, why did you do this to me? After we made plans for a family, and you swear you would bear my child, all the while you were out running wild with your friends spinning all my ends, and I caught you screaming, ooh, I'm with him. I think it's time I let you know you can go, that's the door. You're nothing but a liar, a cheater, a deceiver, heartbreaker, and I won't let you back in my life. So I'm taking the house, the cars, the kids, and the dog. I want it all. You're nothing but a liar.
Welcome in. Happy Wednesday to you. You are rocking with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580 with your entertainment news update. That's Rough Ends, right, Andy? No? Who's that? Profile. Okay. Sounding like I could sing that song right now with the rasp. Well, you know, that's an appropriate way, as always, because, you know, Andy is always on theme for us. To begin our show tonight, we have a lot of trending topics and headlines to get into, one of which, of course, we're going to talk about Stephen tWitch Boss. You know, he was a dancer, a DJ. He was Ellen DeGeneres' DJ. And 2 years ago, he sadly took his own life. And his wife, his widow, is causing some controversy around the streets, the internet streets, because she did an interview with People magazine regarding a book that she is releasing where she revealed some intimate details about her deceased, I was going to say former husband, but not in that matter. Excuse me, her deceased husband. So we're going to talk about that. And in light of the conversation that we had on Monday regarding Luther Vandross's CNN documentary, Never Too Much, and some fans' feelings that Patti LaBelle was thrown under the bus to a degree, and apparently Patti's team agreed in that some feel that she outed Luther in 2017, many years after he had passed away. I want to talk about what it's okay to discuss after someone has transitioned. How do we handle those things, and what is your story to share as opposed to just someone else's story? So we're going to get into those details. But of course, before we do that, I have to let you know about some other things that are bubbling under in this pop culture entertainment worldview that we live in. First up, let me remind you, if at any point tonight you want to get in on this conversation, hit us up on the lines, 800-920-1580. If you're not already, I know you are, but just a small reminder, follow us on social media, KBLA 1580. Hit me up at Stiletto Jill everywhere. Now that we've gotten that out the way, reminder, we have an active YouTube chat. We're there now. And the chat is already bustling. Shout out to DJ Black 909. Good evening to you. Pretty Brown Mimi, happy Wednesday to you as well. And thank you for sending prayers out to California. We are in a moment to say the least. It looks very apocalyptic outside all over LA right now. Pasadena, prayers up. Altadena, Palisades, even over in our area, not too far from where we are in Leimert Park, there was a fire that was contained yesterday evening. We've had winds up to 80, 90 miles an hour, power outages. So just, keep us in your thoughts and prayers. Andy?
All my Palisades Dolphins alumni, I just want to say, man, thoughts and prayers. You know what I'm saying? A lot of memories. So if you graduated from there, if you attended Palisades, it sucks. But,
Man.
Thoughts and prayers to everybody out there.
Yeah, because the village over there, the McDonald's, I heard a lot of kids used to hang out at that McDonald's, part of the school. So very devastating situation. We have to think those kids that attend school right now, they're on break. So probably going to have to go back to distance learning when they return. I think they're scheduled to go back to school next week on the 14th.
My heart kind of aches a little bit. I agree with you on the distance learning tip, but I also do think, for those in the low-income areas that got bused to Palisades, I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to bring them back to their home schools.
It's really hard. When we come forward, we're going to get into this Twitch boss situation, plus more trending topics and headlines. You're locked into the Entertainment News Update with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
Oh, this new dose is... nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach? Transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal? Prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are locked in to Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So let's get into these entertainment headlines. First up, I mentioned TikTok, and people get so much information from TikTok nowadays, recipes, information. Some of those recipes, though, you guys probably should bypass. But that's a conversation for another day. Well, we know that TikTok was potentially scheduled to get banned, I think next week. It's coming up fast unless there was a U.S. buyer. And it looks like someone might be stepping up to save the day. During a recent appearance on Fox News, Canadian businessman, you know him from Shark Tank, Kevin O'Leary, announced that he has plans to purchase the American assets of TikTok before its potential ban. Yeah, January 19th. So that is next week. So he talked about it on X briefly. He said, this isn't just about buying TikTok's U.S. assets. It's about something much bigger, protecting the privacy of 170 million American users. He also said it's about empowering creators and small businesses, and it's about building a platform that prioritizes people over algorithms. So he is partnering with the former Dodgers owner, Frank McCourt, and he said he's aiming to transform TikTok into an American-owned platform that prioritizes user privacy and supports creators and small businesses. So we will see if that actually transpires. He is, of course, trying to talk with Trump. He said Trump will be who we will have to work with to close the deal in the months ahead. So I wanted to let him know, as well as his other cabinet, that we're doing this and we're going to need their help. So we'll see what develops from that. Meantime, let's get into this. Is it Stephen or Stefan? I think it's Stephen. Twitch boss story. So basically, family and friends are speaking out against his ex-wife, well, not his ex-wife, his former wife, Allison Holker, after she came with some pretty, what is the word that you want to use? Because you don't want to chastise or lambast someone that is or was going through a situation, but it was a personal situation, one that necessarily we as the public didn't need to be made aware of. So she is writing a book, and she had a conversation with people about her book and her ex-husband. And in the conversation, she revealed that she found out some interesting things in going through his items. She has a memoir that is called This Far. It's dropping next month. And she recalled discovering what she termed a cornucopia of drugs in shoeboxes ahead of the funeral for Boss. So we know that the choreographer, as I mentioned, passed away December 13th of 2022 at 40 years old. At his own hand, he was the DJ and co-host on Ellen DeGeneres' show. So she said that it was a really triggering moment for her because there were a lot of things that she discovered in that closet that she didn't know existed. And she said she found mushrooms, pills, and other substances. She said it was alarming because there was so much happening that she had no clue about. And it was a really scary moment for her in life to figure that out. But it also, she said, helped her process that he was going through so much and he was hiding a great deal, and that there must have been a lot of shame in that. So the two have 3 children. Well, she has 3 children. They have 2 together. Laurel, who is 8, and Zaya, who is 5, and she has a 16-year-old who is from another relationship. His name is Maddox. So that's where we'll start, right? Was this information necessary in light of how he passed away, the fact that, because his family members and friends are highly upset about this. They have said that there were no drugs in his system following his demise. So why are we finding out about this information now in that manner? Obviously, he was going through some personal things, some private things. We don't know if she's figured out what put him in this position, that he felt this was his only solution, and if she gets more into that in his book. But the friends and family are highly, highly upset. One of his friends wrote about the funeral that she asked for an NDA to be signed by friends and family that were coming to attend the services, and then for her to turn around and be releasing a memoir and talking about these things. They're vexed about it. This is one of the comments. This is by far one of the most tacky and classless, opportunistic acts that I have seen in my entire life. even his own mother, who you've treated like garbage this entire time, was made to sign an NDA for his funeral. Not to share anything or ruin his name as it was, this is nothing that was on anyone's mind in the first place. And here you go, writing a book with all the dirty laundry, smearing his name and attempting to dim the bright, loyal, loving light that was your husband and my friend. So in 2024, she released a children's book called Keep Dancing Through, A Boss Family Groove, which she named tWitch as a co-author. They started writing this book in 2021. And so this is an extension of that. There's already some commentary in the chat. Fahima says, I think tWitch's wife is besmirching his legacy. They have children and he has other family members. If she really needed to share, she should have went through therapy. This seems so tone deaf. And, you know, you never want to tell someone how to process grief, how to get through things, but it does sort of feel like without any extension or outside answers, and perhaps they'll come in the book, it just feels sort of a way to bring attention to her so that perhaps she can continue down this new path of enlightenment that she has discovered. Andy?
I love my ladies. I love my queens. But y'all have been very disappointing these past couple of days.
Pretty Brown Mimi says, is Allison sharing these intimate details about her husband simply for a check? It's also awful for his mother, kids, and other family to hear about. I agree. Allison has said that she's addressed basically the public opinion, not only about the outcry in response to this article, but prior to that, in how she handled it. She said, I am such a public figure that people have a lot of opinions on how I should be handling myself, how I should be handling the grief, and what they expect to see, what they expect me to say, what they expect to hear from me. I've always been a person that I've done things my own way, at my own pace, in my own time. And that's going to sometimes come with a lot of emotion from other people. And I think I've just had to challenge myself to stay my own course, because I've had to go through this at my time to be the best version of myself and the best version for my children. And then I can come forward and use my voice to help as many people as possible. You know, I understand that. As I said, people process grief in different manners, but this just feels a little sticky, a little tricky. tWitch's brother took to Instagram in his stories and accused Allison of having some type of situation with substances. He also said, we know the real. Let's not forget what was up your nose. He said, due to the recent selfish acts of a certain horrible piece of trash human being, I only want you to use, the human being who only wants to use my best friend's memory to benefit herself and her stupid book she's selling. I think I want to go live and share some real, actual, heartfelt memories of Stephen and open up to anyone who wants to hop in and share. We will not let this self-centered, okay, I'm going to mispronounce it. So just know it means self-absorbed and self-centered. I'm not going to get into that word right now. Control the narrative and try to do anything other than shine light and love on his memory. If you want to hop on my live, respond to this, yada, yada, yada. His bestie, Manny Cross, also said he is the one who spoke out about the NDAs at the funeral and so forth. So the family is pissed. Pissed. Manny wrote an extremely long caption on Instagram. He said, Dear Allison, you have lied for the last time on my brother. He was absolutely no addict. You will say and do anything for $1. An addict, you are the one that was messing with, let's say, bubbly brown substances. That's what we call them sometimes. He accused her of dealing with Molly and X as well. And he said, I'm going to tell the facts. IDGAF. Every person who knew him knows that you're a lying, deceitful person and have been doing dirty crap for so long. Should I post our last conversation? Try me. So this is getting ugly. It's getting into the weeds. And again, they have young children. Social media is forever. The internet is forever. So these children are having to hear people attacking their mother because of her statements, the mother saying disparaging things about their father, and to sort things out. And they're under 10. They're under 10 years old. That should be noted. Fahima says, we really didn't need to know this. She should have just went to therapy. I understand sometimes people feel as though part of their therapy maybe is sharing to help someone else, so that someone else that might be going through something similar knows that they're not alone. But again, it does feel like, not questioning how someone gets through their grief, but it does feel a tad bit self-serving. Allison came out and obviously went into follow-up mode after she heard all of the backlash and all of the different posts, and so to speak. She posted to her Instagram and said, to fans of Stephen and our family and friends, I want to be clear that my only intention in writing the book is to share my own story as well as part of my life with Stephen, to help other people. Just like you, I never really knew what happened, and even as I'm trying to put the pieces together, I will never really know. If you decide to read the book, hopefully you'll see my intention is to celebrate the love and life that I shared with him and our 3 beautiful children, and also the more complex aspects of both of our lives. I hope that by sharing our full story, maybe I can help someone else who might be themselves going through this or seeing a loved one go through it. In sharing, I hope that maybe they can catch some of the red flags that I missed before it's too late. Over the course of the last 2 years, I've spoken in detail with NAMI as well as the Solomon family and the Defensive Line Foundation to better educate myself on mental health so that I can share warning signs with others. And I want you to know, here's the kicker, not unexpected, but does this soften the blow for anyone? I doubt it, but we're just going to say, all of the proceeds from this book are going to fund the mental health foundation that I started in Stephen's honor. Move with kindness. My hope is that we don't need to lose another husband, brother, father, or friend to suicide. I believe that if Stephen were able to choose, he would choose to have his story told. And if it were meant to save another person's life, he would want me to tell it. Much love to all those who supported our family through these years. Andy?
That softens a lot. Look, I'm still not a big fan of her kind of revealing the information. But at the same time, me being in a relationship, as a man, to be honest with you, we don't reveal a lot. You know what I'm saying? There is a lot of stuff that we do bottle inside. And considering that, he was married, they have children together, he probably should have shared those emotions or those feelings that he was going through. Who knows? His partner could have, intervened or just helped him out some way. But, he kind of suffered in silence.
Do you think that she could not have shared this story without saying, hey, and I found out he was doing a lot of drugs, if what his family members are saying is true, that there were no drugs in his system at the time of his death? It's a part of the story. It's some aspect that as a wife, she did not know. And right. As you brought up, very much, to discover something like that is both heartbreaking as well as probably very surprising.
Yeah.
But do you think in sharing that information, it tarnishes anything else about the story, her feelings, or him?
I don't know. That's tough. I think I can see it from all angles. I can see how people can view it being tarnished. But I can also see the positive if you choose to look at it from a positive angle. I understand the stance of the family. You know what I'm saying? Like, you exposing this aspect, you're like, no, this is not who he is. But I found these things, Death really brings the ugly out of people. And I don't know, that's kind of tough right there.
It really does. I mean, wanting to help others, starting a foundation, some people, no matter what approach she takes, will still consider it as a self-serving measure. We just have to walk the line and see what comes of it and what else she reveals in the book. But, it's a double-edged sword. in order to get the attention, to put the information out about the book, you're going to have to start with sometimes a salacious hook. That's what gets people to pay attention. That's what gets people to focus at times. And unfortunately, those are the stories that we seem to lockstep into more often than not than just the positive. So it's a balance. We'll have to see sending out healing vibes to everyone involved in this and to anyone who feels alone or feels like they are suffering. There are so many places that you can call and talk to someone and, you know, be addressed and know that there are people out there that care about you and want to see you win. Listen, when we come forward, more trending topics, more headlines. I'm finally going to tell you about what happened with T.I. and Tiny and their settlement amount, because I've been talking about that since Monday, but we didn't get to it. All of that and more on the other side. You are locked in to the Entertainment News Update with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. News, sports, and traffic on the other side.
A deceiver, heartbreaker, and I'm gone, let you back in my life, so I'm taking everything. The kids and the dog, I want it all. You nothing but.
You're in the know with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 things you should know from BIN News. The fire in the hills above Pasadena, California has rapidly grown to 10,600 acres, up from 2,200. Los Angeles County and city fire officials confirmed 2 civilian deaths and at least 100 structures destroyed. Rapper Jay-Z has filed a motion in a rape lawsuit accusing attorney Tony Busby of not investigating claims that he and Diddy drugged and raped a woman in 2000. The accuser admitted to some inconsistencies but stands by her story. San Francisco, California is reporting its lowest crime since 2001. Outgoing Black Mayor London Breed cites a 31% drop in property crime and a 14% drop in violent crime, crediting a new DA and improved technology. And the public is honoring former President Jimmy Carter as he lies in state at the U.S. Capitol until Thursday morning. Carter will be remembered in a state funeral at Washington National Cathedral, where President Biden will deliver a eulogy. I'm Amber Payton on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
Big problems in Hollywood right now. There's a fire sparking up in Runyon Canyon, which is very close to Hollywood Boulevard and very close to a lot of homes. We're watching live shots of this. If you're in the area, you know people that live there, give them a call, let them know what's going on. This is happening live as we speak. Hollywood Boulevard is filling in as well. It's becoming extremely crowded. It's both directions between Fairfax and Highland Avenue, and it's only going to become worse as people get out of the area. So again, Runyon Canyon, there's a fire breaking out there right now. If you're in the area, you can just look up and see it. And if you know anybody that lives in that vicinity, give them a call, let them know what's going on. The 101 northbound is slowing right now from Hollywood Boulevard heading towards Cahuenga Boulevard. Southbound's doing okay for now, so you're good on the 101. Highland's looking pretty busy northbound from Sunset to Hollywood Boulevard, and La Brea Avenue is really starting to fill in from Franklin to Sunset.
Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $175 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 2/1. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The NFL is monitoring the wildfires that are burning in several areas inside the city limits of Los Angeles. The league wants to be sure of the air quality for Monday night's playoff game between the Rams and Minnesota Vikings at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. The Rams were not scheduled to practice today. They have tentative plans to practice tomorrow depending on the conditions. The Chargers, who have a playoff game at Houston on Saturday, adjusted their practice routine today to limit the amount of time players and staff were outside. The Chargers are scheduled to leave for Houston on Friday. The family of Lakers coach J.J. Redick was forced to evacuate their home in Pacific Palisades Tuesday night. Pacific Palisades is one of the areas hardest hit by the wildfires. The Lakers returned to L.A. Tuesday night after their loss in Dallas. They are scheduled to play Charlotte Thursday night at Crypto.com. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Here they come, y'all. Here they come. Here they come, y'all. Here they come. Get out the way. Move. First things first with Dominique DePrima at 6 a.m. Tavis Smiley at 9 a.m. Truth Time with Dr. Cornell West and Nina Turner at 12 noon. Here they come, y'all. Here they come. Here they come, y'all. Here they come. Get out the way. Get out the way. Get out the way. The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show at 1 p.m. The D.L. Hughley Afternoon Show at 2 p.m. A More Perfect Union with Dr. Nee Quarterly Quartet at 4 p.m. Here they come, y'all. Here they come. Here they come, y'all. Here they come. Get out the way. Get out the way. Get out the way. Tune in weekdays from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. for the talk of the town. Only on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about. Here they come, y'all. Here they come.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cow Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm vanilla, baby. I'll choke you, but I ain't no killer, baby. She 28, telling me I'm still a baby. I get love in Detroit like Skillet, baby. And the thing about your boy is I don't like no whips and chains, and you can't tie me down. But you can whip your lovin' on me. That's right, whip your lovin' on me.
Welcome back into your entertainment update with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. You know, a little bounce. Jack Harlow, we haven't heard from him in a minute. What's he doing? Staying out the way? Dodging strays?
I think he dropped another song.
Did he?
I don't know the name of it, but I saw the video recently.
Okay.
It's kind of unique.
All right, well, we have to look out for it. I mean, the rap world is kind of sticky right now. You got to dodge and move, pick a side. But speaking of, DJ Black 909 in the chat asked a question from a conversation that we had the other night. So I'm going to address that real quickly. He said that Snoop and Dre in the Missionary album, we were talking about it yesterday, he said that he feels what Dre and Snoop need to do for this album, because there's been conversation as to whether this was a proper extension of all the times and the work that Dre and Snoop have worked together. We know that they make magic, but some felt like this particular album didn't have the same feeling, et cetera, of some of their past collaborations. So DJ Black 909 says that he feels like they need to go back to the G-Funk sound. I don't know. I mean, there were nods to it in there a little bit. But as I said, that was, 30 plus years ago. I mean, realistically, we are getting dangerously close to the 40-year mark for the Chronic dropping. And you want that feeling, yes, but they were in their 20s now. They are in their 50s now, grandparents, just a different state of mind. I don't know if you can actually recreate that. I would have liked to see maybe a couple of more skits. Thank you, Andy, for that. And maybe, like I think Andy mentioned, maybe some of the OG players from the, Dog Pound days, the old Death Row crew. But I think that as grown men, as an evolution of sound, bigger things, we see that this was somatic. This was not meant to be an experience that you just kind of listen to, and it was meant to be a total sensory thing, the mini movies, all of that. So
I hear you, DJ Black. I get you. I think those are obviously the expectations when you see Drake and Snoop together, right? But
Dre and Snoop,
excuse me. But for me, I still just like the sound of Dre's production and how evolved in a lot of ways that it is. You had mentioned the Compton album.
Yes.
That barely gets a lot of recognition. But if you go back and listen to that joint, musically, I'm surprised it didn't pop off the way it did it.
I think just at the time, what was that, 2014 when it dropped? Something like that. I think just at the time, music was in a very different space. I think it's Dre, and so it wasn't really... What was it attached to? I can't remember.
There was a Straight Outta Compton.
Oh, that's right. It was from Straight Outta Compton. So it was like a companion piece, not so much a soundtrack.
The unofficial.
Yeah. So I think that in a lot of ways, it was just something that people kind of overlooked. One of my favorite Kendrick songs is on there, Women, Weed, and Weather. When we're talking about LA, those are the things that people think about. It's a great song. The beat, it was, very much an extension of Kendrick, kind of what we see now in GNX in some ways.
I'll say this. Despite the fact that it didn't give you the whole G-Funk vibe, it did give me 90s vibe, early 2000s. The track with Method Man.
Yeah, that definitely felt like an underground, like that era, guys by the speakers really listening to the lyrics. Exactly. The beats matter, but not in the same type of way.
Mm-hmm. The record with 50 and Eminem, it was hip-hop. It was hip-hop that we are missing today.
I had them written down someplace, but like the first 4 or 5 songs and just the sequencing of it, loved it. Really loved it. And the song that you played yesterday with Janae, Gorgeous, that's my jam, Did
you like Out of the Blue, the MIA sample? All I really want to,
I think, yeah, that was cool. I enjoyed it for where they are currently. I wasn't expecting a doggy style. I was not.
It's like Andre 3000. What do you expect me to be rapping about right now? Colonoscopy? I'm just saying.
Well, here's the thing. I don't say that because, look, Jay-Z's put out stuff, LL's put out stuff, MC Lyte has put out stuff. There are a lot of the OGs dropping music currently today. And I feel like if you think about where they are in the music that they're dropping, it is par and course for where they are career-wise. Is it necessarily in the same place where music is? No, but they're not in the same place. So if you look at the I guess it's been a couple of years, there's been a lot of Gen X, I'd say golden era rappers dropping music. And I think that's amazing. I think that's incredible, especially for a genre where 28, 30, you were out the game. You were old, worse than athletics, worse than sports. As a rapper, you were out of there really before you even got out of your late 20s.
Shout out to Nas.
Nas is one of the
Shout
ones
out to
consistently. Common.
Shout out to LL. They all recently just dropped albums.
Yeah, I know. Common, though, I feel Common's a poet. I feel, in this phase, not as an artist. I'm saying in this phase. I don't.
Common always been a poet.
He's always been a poet. Common Sense, the early years. I don't act right now, Common. I would just rather Common.
Interesting. So you're not feeling his music right now?
Not really.
I heard a couple tracks. The collaboration project he got with Pete Rock's pretty solid.
I might have to check that out. I'm not looking to be, no disrespect, Common. I like you, Common. I enjoy your music. I enjoy watching you act. But right now, in 2025, I'm not looking to be a consumer of that. No shade, no tea. So, but shout out to Dre and Snoop. Hey, and it's another venture to continue to plug. There are many, many other business ventures, and I'm not mad at that at all. Excuse me. So let's get into this T.I. and Tiny situation. You know that they were awarded $71 million from the lawsuit regarding the Oh My God girls, their group OMG Girls, basically the LOL doll, the company that created them. Those dolls look very similar to the aesthetic of the group. They sued, saying that the company borrowed heavily from their image and likeness and won. They were awarded $71 million. Well, of course, the company appealed, as what happens with most judgments of that amount, period. They're going to appeal. And so after we went through that process, the judge said there wasn't enough evidence on the bad faith portion to award the $50 million in punitive damages. So that $71 million right now is being cut to $17.8 million. I'll tell you what, I would gladly accept that as well. But I don't recall how much LOL made off of the dolls and if that is a fair amount. But listen, things happen. And $17 million is not bad for a group that didn't even have a hit single out there. Shows you the type of impact you can have. People are watching even when you don't think they are. When we come forward, we're going to get into more trending topics, more headlines, more stories, and more commentary from the chat because they keep it lit. And if you want to comment on any of these things, 800-920-1580. We're going to get it together. It's one of those things. I'm going to blame the smoke in the air and all of that. More on the other side.
You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. We're getting into these trending topics and headlines. So I have some TV news. You know, the Prime Video series Harlem that stars Megan Good. The third season, drops here in a couple of weeks. And it was just announced that the third season will be the final season of the series. Now, some people are really upset because a series that dropped in similar time frame, Run the World on Stars, similar premise, 4 friends in New York, young ladies in their 30s, figuring out life, was also recently canceled. I think that I don't know if that made it to a third season. So people are wondering what's going on with that, but we will have to see. We're going to have some conversations coming up with the cast here on the show, so I'll check in and find out what the tea is on that. But it is the final season. This season will feature Robin Givens in a guest starring role, Kofi Sibre, and a bunch of others. So we'll get into those details. Here in the chat, Forrest Harrison says, Redman's Muddy Waters 2 is banging. See, the Gen X rappers are out there holding it down, keeping the heat. So I'm not opposed to Gen X rappers doing it. I like it. I love it because, as mentioned, hip-hop is still a very young genre when you think about it. And it is not one that we thought about having elder statesmen in. So to still have performers in their late 40s, 50s, putting out quality work is amazing. And we should support it, even though these concert prices are a little out of control right now. Just a little bit. I know it's an experience, but geez. Anyway, that's a side note, a conversation for another day. 13th Steppin in the chat says, what good can come out of her going public? This is in referring to Allison, who is Twitch Boss's widow. It doesn't change my opinion of the man. Drugs exist and destroy people's lives. It doesn't make him a bad guy, so what's the point of her bringing it up? I also don't even know who this lady is, but she sounds like she's very conniving, and her press releases sound so contrived and fake. I mean, I think, it's an opinion. For some, hearing that others are going through something that they've experienced somehow may give them comfort. It may offer them solutions or suggestions of things that they can do to center themselves, or ideas that they can do for their children to keep them in a positive frame of mind. It might be therapy for her to release it. We don't know. Again, it's hard, it's hard to critique how someone is grieving and what they're going through to get through it. But at the same time, it does feel just a little, I don't know. But the book isn't out yet. We'll have to see what comes of it. And maybe, we're mistaken and she has a whole nother perspective on it. And she will continue that POV through the foundation that she said that she released. Forrest Harrison says, did y'all know the Hollywood Hills is on fire? We did, near the Hollywood Bowl, Hollywood Boulevard, Runyon Canyon. We have heard about that, so stay safe out there, you guys. The air quality is terrible.
Wear a mask.
Wear a mask. As Andy chastised me when I walked in the building, where's your mask? Do you know what the air is like? Clearly, my voice knows what the air is like, so I really should have been on that. But, sometimes we slip and we get back up. Fall down 7 times, stand up 8. So let me tell you what else happened today. The NAACP Image Awards have announced their nominations, and a lot of your favorites are looking to take home awards in February for the 56th annual gathering. 56th annual gathering for this event. Yeah, I guess that's what I meant to say. So basically, since the 60s, y'all, they have been honoring Black excellence, Black talent, sometimes when there was no other show to receive us and support us. I want to remind us of that because sometimes we forget to support our own because there's so many other different things out there. And, you know, as things change, sometimes the relevancy doesn't feel there. But I think it is important to recognize the legacy establishments that are out there that have continued to be a voice for the Black community. So let me tell you some of the people that are nominated. Entertainer of the Year, it's a battle. Wicked star Cynthia Erivo is one of the nominees. The multi-talented Keke Palmer, she's nominated. You know K-Dot is nominated. Kendrick Lamar, with a year like he had in 2024, how can you not? And let's think about this. It really wasn't even a full year. This all started in April. So there's that. It did start in April. That's when it dropped. So, 7-8 months. Not a full calendar year. But still. Kevin Hart, he's nominated. I don't know if his year compared to the others, but I suppose any year you could really nominate Kevin Hart because he is entertainment whirlwind, all in of himself. And last but not least, you should expect this nomination. Shannon Sharp, Club Shay Shay, Nightcap, he started off 2024 and sent us into this tailspin with his Cat Williams interview. There are rumors that a part 2 is bubbling somewhere. Haven't seen it yet, but might pop out there. So kudos to all of them. Some of the other nominees that are being brought forth for the 2-hour broadcast that is scheduled for February 22nd on BET and CBS, once again at the Pasadena Civic Auditorium, if you're into those type of details. They haven't announced the host yet for this year. The past 2 years, it's been Queen Latifah. She did an amazing job. So I guess there will probably be a new host this year since they haven't announced it. But the piano lesson leads the motion picture categories. That was directed by Malcolm Washington, who is Denzel Washington's son. And his other son, John David Washington, is also in that, along with Danielle Deadweiler, Samuel L. Jackson, and Corey Hawkins. So it was nominated for Outstanding Motion Picture, along with Bad Boys Ride or Die, Bob Marley One Love, and the 688, which came out on Netflix, plus Wicked. So, lots of talent out there, lots of films. Excuse me, if you haven't seen those, check them out before that comes. As far as across the TV front, in the television categories, 9 nominations came for Fight Night, The $1 Million Heist. That was, of course, produced by Kevin Hart. Kevin also starred in it. Chicken Man. It also starred Don Cheadle, Taraji P. Henson, Terrence Howard, and a bunch of others. That was on Peacock, so check it out if you have not. In addition to that, let's see, Keke was also nominated because of her Password game show. I forgot that she has all of those things going. Her podcast, Baby, This is Keke Palmer, and she has a new film dropping next week with SZA. We'll get into that. Ingenue Ellis Taylor was nominated for the film Nickel Boys and Exhibiting Forgiveness, and The Supremes at Earl's All You Can Eat. She's had a stellar year. I mentioned Taraji. She was nominated for Fight Night and for her hosting of the BET Awards in 2024. So all of that and more. Kerry Washington, Coleman Domingo, let's see, Angela Bassett, David Allen Greer, Sanaa Lathan, Cree Summer, bunch of other people, Aaron Pierre. So got to be on the lookout for all of that, Listen, thank you so much, as always, for locking in here on KBLA Talk 1580 and welcoming me back this week. Forrest Harrison in the chat says, I've been quietly listening all week. You're doing a great job, Miss Jill. Thank you so much. It feels so good to be back. What song is that from? I can't remember. It's the end of a song. But anyway, I'm feeling the love. I'm getting my bearings. I'm getting all situated. So thank you guys for locking in. And, every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., we are here to give you your entertainment news update. And I expect you to be here front and center tomorrow to make sure to lock in with that. I think that we have time for one more story before I get out of here. Kodak Black, since we were talking about different issues with, drug misuse and things of that nature, he says that everybody in the world does drugs. Everybody is getting high while waiting to die. We know Kodak has gone through his various issues. We have seen him in various states of, let's just say, unrest, where we assume he might have been under the influence. So, him coming out with that message, he may have a point, but I don't know if that's the point that we need to hear right now here today. Listen, thank you for locking in. I appreciate it. Coming up next, is the voice of reason, Zoe Williams. Make sure you are right here, back at it tomorrow here with me, Jill Munroe. For your entertainment news updates, as always, I will tap in with you soon. News, sports, and traffic. Yeah, that's on the other side. Thank you for locking in.
Down, but you can whip your lovin' on me, whip your lovin' on me. Young MISSIONARY, he's sharp like barbed wire. She stole my heart, then she got archived. I keep it short with a Lord Farquhar. All the girls in the front row, all the girls in the barricade, all the girls have been waiting all